Alright, story time. Okay? So I recently just celebrated my 1 year anniversary as a full-time entrepreneur slash owning a bookstore, makerspace literacy center, right? So we celebrated 1 year this past weekend and I'm super excited. There was a lot that was happening this past year. It was up, it was down, it was all over the place, and now I'm here to talk about it. And I feel like I have a bazillion videos to talk about my first year, but we're not going to talk about all of those. We're just going to talk about one. All right, so let me first tell you about a story, okay? In the past 12 months, I've done some strange things for some change. I may have not gotten on a poll. I may have not, signed up for OnlyFans, but it definitely crossed my mind a million times. But I definitely had to figure out, things that I would be more comfortable with making money, right? And so when I think about making money and doing things, I noticed that, I was money driven, right? Money was my care, if you will, right? I just wanted money. And so I was doing things just to make that money. And so there's a time when I was donating plasma. And there's no hate, no shade, no anything against people who donate plasma for money or for a good cause, right? But when you are doing things because you're money driven, then that's when things change, right? So I was money hungry. I needed a quick, thing to satisfy an immediate need, right? So I was like, I need some money. I need money. I need money. And so I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and try this plasma, donating plasma. And people have said that, they make extra money, about $500 a month, donating plasma. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a good thing. I didn't think I could donate plasma because I had like really low iron and was deficient in some areas. But they were like, you know what, you can donate. You pass the test. And I was like, God, before I even passed the test, I was like, God, if this is you, let me pass this test, right? So I was able to pass the test. But then I was just like, God, if this works, then this is you. But I also was super new, well, not so much as new, but reviving my relationship with Christ and, building my spiritual life. And so I was just trying to put God on things. I was pretty much lying on God, right? And so it worked out. The first time, though, I will let you know that last 5 minutes, I sat there with this needle in my arm, and it took about 3 hours that day, right? So you had to sign up, register, do all these things, and it took about 3 hours, right? And so I'm sitting there the last 5 minutes, and I was just like, I started feeling sick. I was faint. I was about to pass out. My stomach was jacked up. There's so many things happening at that moment, and I'm just like, you know what? This is crazy. And so I let the nurse know. I was like, yo, I don't feel good. And she said, oh, okay. They gave me Gatorade. They did whatever they needed to do to revive me or make sure that I was okay to finish giving my donation, right? And I was like, my stomach hurt. My stomach hurts. And as soon as they took that needle out and put that little Band-Aid on, I ran to the bathroom, and I was in there for about 15 minutes. My stomach was jacked up. I was dizzy. It was a hot mess. And so I was like, man, well, God, you said if I pass the test, this is good, even though I got sick and all of that. So then I was like, let's try it one more time, okay? Let's just see if it really works. And so I go back the next day, and everything was perfect. Everything was perfect, right? So I pass the test. I'm in there. I get the nurse that just puts the needle in like butter, and it was just beautiful. And I was out of there within like an hour, okay? So then I was like, okay, we have a schedule. We're going to go on these 2 days of the week. We're going to get our $100 and we're just going to go, right? And so I go back the next day, and that same nurse was not there. And I was like, I don't want nobody else but that nurse, but she wasn't there, so I went with somebody. And they took like 10 times to stick me. They had to remove it, position it differently. They kept sticking me, all this stuff. My arm was so sore. I was like, you know what? I don't even want to do this. But they're like, are you sure? Are you sure? I was like, well, fine. Go ahead one more time. So it worked. So we did it about 3 more times. And every single time, they literally had to re-stick me, move the needle, do different stuff. And my arm was just, they just kept sticking me. And I was like, this ain't like that second time, guy. So maybe this wasn't you, right? And so they kept sticking me. And then the last time they stuck me, I just was like, you know what? I'm done. Like, they couldn't get any blood or plasma or whatever it may be. My arm was swollen. And I still have the mark from that, the issue. Like, it was just a hot mess. And so I was like, you know what? I don't need to focus on money. I need to focus on what is my passion, my purpose, so that can plant seeds and be a long-term solution rather than quick fix, right? So I say all of that to say that, when it is time to think about our life and what we're doing in life, that we don't need to be focusing on quick fixes. We don't need to be focusing on Band-Aids. We are constantly focused on what is happening right now rather than the long term. And so I'm just like, you know what? That's not how this works. And so I was reminded that, you know what? You need to focus on things that are planting seeds. And so I would spend maybe an hour and a half trying to donate plasma for $100. And where's $100? Nowhere to be found. Where is my residual income? Nowhere to be found, because I was sitting on the table not producing anything but plasma for someone else. I was building someone else's, empire, but not mine. And so I had to step back. I had to figure out, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And a lot of the times we like to say, God, this is you, because it works out, or, we try to make it work out. And that is never the case. And so I say all of that to say that sometimes we need a revival. We need to go back. We need to figure out what our passion is, our purpose, our drive, and not those quick fixes, right? And so I am writing and talking to you to just let you know that we need a moment where we stop, recollect our mind, figure out what our passions, our purpose are, and, make sure that what we're doing aligns with our goals, our missions, our values, what God wants us to do, and then be able to, continue that mission. And so I'm in a moment, I'm in a position or a time, whatever it may be, where I am in revival. I'm in revival. I'm reviving things that are my passions, right? Are my purposes. I'm in revival for my body, my mind, my spirit. I'm in a position where I can focus and shift what I need to shift and focus only on things that align with that mission. And so I just wanted to share that with y'all. And you will be able to find on the blog more information. So I want you guys to go and just read what I have to say. This was just a snippet of what's going on in that blog. And so if you find the need to have a moment of revival where you're like, okay, I need to revive my mind, my body, my spirit, my soul. Things are out of whack. I'm anxious. I am depressed. I am all these things. But none of this is helping my business, right? None of this is helping my life. None of this is helping my family. None of this is helping my purpose. Then this is when you need to sit back and be like, okay, it's time for revival. And so on the blog, you'll be able to find ways to tap into that revival mode, ways that you can access resources, and just a whole bunch of other things, right? And so I want to end on this saying that revival can happen daily. Revival can happen monthly. It can be part of your daily routines, your monthly routines, your yearly routines. Making sure you go back to the basics. Making sure you focus on what is really on the table. What we really need to be focused on. Are we focused on Band-Aids? Are we focused on quick fixes? Or are we focused on planting seeds and cultivating and nourishing and making sure that our harvest is going to be bountiful? Because me being on that table was not bountiful. It was a quick fix. I was able to buy me a journal, buy me some dinner, some groceries for the night, which is fine. But I need long term. I need residual. I need something that's going to compound. And so that is my petition for this video, is revival. Going back to things that matter, the purpose, your passions, so that you can, nourish those seeds that you planted initially. And I can continue going on, but I am not. I want you to go to the blog. Let me know your thoughts. What do you need to revive? What are things in your life that brought you joy that you kind of just put to the wayside? You put it on the back burner. What are some things that will help you for 60 years, forever, to be able to leave a legacy to your children's children? What are those things that you need to revive? Go ahead and put those in the comments below. And I hope this video wasn't too intense. I feel super intense right now. But yes. Anyways, it's been real. Go check out the blog. Peace and blessings.